Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech with Yashwant. So in this video, we are going to see the prerequisites in order to master Amazon Bedrock AgentCore. So this is the third video in the playlist. So if you have not watched the previous videos, I would highly recommend you to watch the videos and come over here. Now in this video, like I mentioned, we will go through the prerequisites. So what I've done is I have created a GitHub repository like you see on the screen. I know for now it is very basic. I'll keep adding more and more resources with additional readme details so that you are able to understand even after completing this playlist. So hold on till the end of this playlist because it's going to be really exciting. So I want you all to learn AgentCore from scratch. Now, I have created a folder called notebooks, and inside that I have created an important IPYNB notebook, which is prerequisites. So these are all the prerequisites that are required in order to follow along. So please go ahead and create an AWS account. So to create an AWS account, it's straightforward. You can follow many YouTube tutorials are there, and there are documentations too which can help you create the AWS account. So I would highly recommend follow along, create an AWS account, and there is a slight change. So if you see here, new customers get up to $200 of AWS credit. So this is what you have in free tier, and this is what you have in paid plan. Okay, so create the account, and I'll let you do that right after this video. So go ahead and comment down below if you have the AWS account created already. So if you have the AWS account created, so let's check the next prerequisites, that is to have the AWS Builder ID. Now this is a link for you to create the Builder ID. Now you might be wondering, what is this Builder ID and how can I use this? Like I mentioned, AWS Builder ID is a central user management tool which AWS has created. You can write blogs, you can do whatever, right? And with this, you can get free credits to use Kiro and AWS Q or Amazon Q Developer CLI. So go ahead, create an account. It is straightforward. Just click on create account if you do not have the account already. But if you are from AWS Community Builders program, you should have this Builder account already. So if you do not have, click on create account. It will ask for some details like provide all the information, the email address, phone number, and you will have the AWS Builder ID created. So use that ID in the next step, which is to go ahead and install Kiro. Kiro is just like your Visual Studio Code with more enhancement when it comes to AI. So it is developed by AWS itself. You can download it. And for the first time, if you are downloading using the Builder ID that you created in the previous step, you will get 500 credits for you to work along. 500 credits is a lot. You can in fact create one startup using that credits, and you can use that for pretty much 30 days, right? So to follow along with this tutorial, I would highly recommend you to have this Kiro installed on your local machine and use that Builder ID to log in. So how does it look? So if you see here, this is my interface. And if you see here, once you log in, you will see signed in to the console, and you will see a tick mark saying that you have already logged in. Okay. So if this is what, confusing for you, let me know. I can also create a separate video on that, but it is straightforward. Okay. Now let's go back and see what we have next. So in the prerequisites, once you have that Kiro downloaded, what you can do is you can clone this repository. So how do you clone the repository? It is straightforward, right? All of you are DevOps or cloud engineers. You would be knowing how to clone the repository. So just click on code and copy this and go to your favorite terminal. Just say git clone and paste the URL and hit enter. The GitHub repository will be cloned on your local machine. So I've already done that, so I don't want to do it again. So if you're doing it for the first time, go ahead and do that. And also do me a favor, just go ahead and fork this repository or start this repository. So whenever I add more details to this repository, you will get notified. Okay. So if that looks good, let us go ahead and see what we have for the next one. So next is to install Python and UV. So I'm sure all of you would have Python installed on your laptop or local machine. Whether it's Windows, Linux or Mac. Mac is straightforward. For Linux, it is straightforward. For Windows, you can go ahead and type for pypipe.org or Python, search for Python download, and you'll get the link. Download it, and that's it. Okay. So I'm sure like all of you would have. But why do we need other one, which is UV? Because that's the package manager that we are going to use for Python in this course. So you should have to install that as well. So to install, you can just click on this link that is provided. Go here. This is the page where you will go ahead and install it. So for Mac and Linux, this is straightforward. You just run these commands. For Windows, it is this, the PowerShell command. So depending on the operating system that you're using, go ahead and do this. So first, let me copy this. I'll go to my favorite terminal, come out of this, paste the one that I copied. So it's downloading UV and it says everything installed. This is good, and you can ignore this warning for now. And let's go, and it says request a specific version, and that's all, right? So UV is already installed. But if you want to add it to a path, you can do that as well. Go ahead and use the AI models to help you adding the path. So that is straightforward, right? So I'm not covering in this video. Next, very important thing is to create an IAM user in your AWS account and add power user access, because we are going to do a lot of things on Bedrock AgentCore. So I will not repeat all the steps again and again. So this prerequisites covers everything that is required. If in case I miss anything, I'll keep adding those in the tutorials. Okay. So first, let us go ahead and copy the name that we are going to use. So make sure to provide the same name, because we will have the sync. We will use the same user every time we create a new resource. So go ahead and copy the name and go to your AWS console. So this is my AWS console. Let me sign in back. Okay, so this is my AWS account, and all I want you to do is go ahead and search for IAM and click on open that in the new tab, or you can also click and open there in the same terminal. Okay, so all you have to do is click on this users here, and I have a user created already, but we are going to create a new one. So I'll click on create user. For the name, I'm going to provide learn AgentCore, and let us go ahead and provide user access to AWS Management Console, or we don't need that, right? So we are only going to use CLI, so I'm just going to leave that as default. Click on next. Instead of adding the user to the group, let's go ahead and add the policy directly. So search for power user. So you should see something like this, power user access. Select that. Click on next. You have the user here. All right. So just review it once and click on user. So this is straightforward. I know most of you would be knowing it, but the next one is important. Okay. Let's click on the same user that we created, and let's go ahead and create a security credential. Click on security credential and click on create access key. So we need the access key for the command line. So I'm going to select CLI. I understand the above recommendation and I want to proceed to create an access key. Let's click on that and click on next. Provide the description name. For example, we are learning AgentCore key. Okay, so that you don't forget. So click on create access key again. So you should never disclose this access key anywhere. So what I'm going to do is, after this tutorial, I'm going to delete this and recreate a new one so that you won't use this and bump into my AWS account. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the access key. All you have to do is configure this on your local machine. So how do you do that? Either you can use the terminal or your terminal on the code editor. So I prefer using the code editor because I'm comfortable with it. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit so that you can see clearly. So all you have to do is just run AWS configure, type and hit enter, provide the access key, provide the secret access key, and region set it to default US East 1, a default output, and that's all, right? So you have all the things now on the AWS side. So you have the IAM user with power user access, you have the CLI on the terminal, and you have already configured it. But if you do not know how to install CLI and configure it, I did it very quickly, but there is a video on my channel. So this is the video I'm talking about. I'll provide the link to this in the description. Go ahead and follow that and create the user as well as configure the CLI. Okay, so that's how you do it. Next, let us go ahead and configure the AWS Docs MCP server and Strands MCP on the Kiro. But before that, I want to explain a little bit on Kiro side. Okay, so I'll open the Kiro editor, and it is straightforward, just like your VS Code or any other code editor. But one thing is that you can use this chat button here to vibe code any of your application or go with a spec driven development. Vibe coding is basically you chat first, then build, explore ideas and iterate as you discover needs. And spec driven is used for planning your application first, then build, create requirements and design before coding starts. And that's the difference between your vibe coding and spec driven development of the application. So this is where you go ahead and ask every question regarding your code. It fixes the issues, all the things, just like any other code editor. The cursor, anti-gravity, similar to that. Okay, is it a hard requirement for this course? No. But do I prefer this? Absolutely, because this is developed by AWS, and if you are learning AWS, anything on AWS, this is going to help you a lot. Okay, now where do I add the MCP server? So you see this Kiro icon here. This is the icon or the mascot. Click on that and you will see MCP here. Okay, you can see all the things that I've added already, but if you click on this, you can see the list of all the MCP servers that I've already added. It is straightforward. What I'll do is I'll also provide the JSON that I'm using so that you can just copy paste that entire JSON and you're good to go. So what I'm doing is basically adding AWS documentation MCP server. So if I need to follow along and access any of the documentation or any details in the AWS documentation, rather than giving the link in the vibe coding section, as I already have the MCP server, it uses that MCP server default and it searches and it gets the details. So this is the MCP server. So this is well maintained by AWS. This is not something developed by third party. So I'm recommending to add this in your mcp.json. Okay, let's do that. And I've already done that. So you can find the JSON file here. This is an entire JSON file and you can check what are all the MCPs that I've added. For example, I have AWS diagram MCP server, which helps me in creating the AWS diagrams. And I have pricing calculator, which gives me the pricing of all the resources that we're going to create. CDK for development and cost explorer for exploring how much cost I am spending on each resources. And this is the one that we actually want to add, that is AWS documentation MCP server. And the next one is Strands agent. So for working along, I mentioned in the first video that there are different frameworks for you to create agents. So we are going to stick to Strands, which is developed by AWS and it's open source. So we are going to use MCP server of Strands in order to proceed. Okay, meaning I don't need to go ahead and ask Strands related details every time I want. So this MCP server will be used by default. It searches the documentation and it searches the Strands documentation and gives you all the results. So just copy this and add this into your JSON file too. I've already done that. So if you see here, the last one is Strands agents. You can see this. And this is related to your Strands MCP server. So if you have this, that is good. If you do not have, just copy my JSON that I've provided in the prerequisites and you're good. Okay. So next, let's go back and see what we have next. So if you have all of these details added, let me know in the comments and give me a thumbs up, or let me know that you are ready for part 4 or fourth video where we will be creating our first agent. Okay, I'm sure all of you are excited. Let me know in the comments. I'm waiting for your comments. And if we hit 25 likes on the day 1 of releasing this, I promise that I'll continue this series till the end of the playlist. Okay, so if you're liking the content that I'm creating, please consider subscribing and share it with your friends. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.